Hallucinogenomics, two-page role-play cyberpunk genre theater of the mind. The internet has brought us closer to any sort of cyberpunk hallucinogenomic type of environment. Two-page role-play, exactly what it's advertised. There is a Game Master page which describes how you would create adventure and offer the different challenges to the players, and the first page of the game is all you need to have to play. This is me, and I'm a spectacular cyberpunk character, which probably means that I'm really good in the net, as opposed to a cyber junkie and a kitchen chemist. These stories are very, very much drug-infused, as the actual genre is, and as the future is predicted to be, where most of us are just medicated because we have nothing else going on in our lives. This is dark stuff. Let's get started here. Life wasn't always this pathetic, yet today I was truly bummed. I ran out of stims. All I had left was downers and Debbie, my GF. Soon, all I would have was barbs. I took a few, and of course that made me mellow but sloppy. Did I oversleep? A pizza keck is going to be pissed. Feels like I've been sleepwalking. My mouth had this gritty feel of a hamster cage, sweet pine scent from all of the last time I flossed. Was that yesterday? Did I sleep a week? Vacation's over, back to humping code. I found my console and got started. I need to overcome an obstacle here, so I go into the character page. And I'm going to just start on Fixated, because one thing about this game, as opposed to the others, is as you are doing different actions, you're losing the ones behind you. For instance, anytime I do this Euphoria crank, I will no longer be able to do any rolls on Fixated. Now, I can eliminate an obstacle pretty easily with Fixated, but as a spectacular character class, I'm only rolling one die. I am adding one because I am Destined. And Destined as well. You'll notice there's no way to get Destined back. So once you lose it, you're mostly looking for exposition or dialogue to find it. Okay, here I go. Roll the 3. 3, jonesing. Now I have the option to pass all rolls, which means this scenario would end, or I need to go forward and say there's no more fixated rolls that I would have to make. So I'm over here on Euphoria crank now. It's what I do best as a spectacular. I roll 2 dice 6 and take the better. So here I go. I'm into the mainstream. 4 and a 5. 5 becomes a 6. I made my I got past my obstacle here. Everything seems good. My boss, Pizza Keck, may not even know I was out of it. If he asks, I'll say it was remote working. Seems like the power was fine. But there was a spike of energy from the RDR. The 50 or so R units, Phillips spas, if you're used to that term, we're an overkill for this ship. The place even has 3 forms of backup energy: nuclear, geothermal, and solar reflector. All of those are worthless this deep in space. I guess the hope was someday any vessel could land and be a base. Now colony ships were converted to luxury liners like this one, taking the rich away from the poor. If I lacked skill, well, I'd still be in Detroit, 6 feet under Lake Slushy. Everything seemed good. GF, well, she set me free. Her words. Determinism says we're all always doomed. She was a stripper, and I just ran out of loose cash. I had already taken 3 loans on my pension. Odds were that it wasn't going to be there for old me anyway. Neither was I going to survive. The downers I was taking made my mood mushy and maudlin. That drowsy state when I made mistakes. The code I shepherded was durable but stack-heavy slow. My grind was all push and pop. I lost some drink orders and was facing termination. Due diligence. Sucks to be the responsible one. I snorted some crushed pills and started coughing. Took a remote look in cyberspace and see how things are. My email parcel was honked again. That AFIT prick, Baltimore Jones. He gets paid double what I get and he can't run a mail server. Let me check on the bots. At least these droidos are running. The robots are mostly assigned to take care of the passengers. I and about some other, 10 crewmen are here in case. Not sure what. No one ever told me. One guy a few voyagers back, Sally, she's retired now, told me the Union required real living humans to be figureheads. She liked to pawn all her work off on me. I was glad for anything to do back then. Now I'm like her. I don't do anything except jack and crack. I slapped my cargo pants pocket, still filled with capsules. Life was good. Now I need to make a critical insight in this scene. And you'll notice this is a lot of just dialogue of me. I sort of wrote out a narrative here that I want to run. Let me know if you like it in the Space Gamer forums. And my character, I'm rolling critical insight. Critical insight is what I do best. On Euphoria Crank, 2 dice, here it comes. And a 3 and a 4. A 4 becomes a 5 because I'm destined. It's a high wire. Happens again, treat as a 3. Recover after the action. I pass an obstacle or gain the critical insight. I'm off to the next scene. Hack the system and find the date has reset. Explains why the mail server went AWOL. I read someplace that the old code that had this Y2K problem. I always laughed at that, but somehow all the code here was twisted and recovering from some 0-day reset. I could try to fix it, but I needed to talk to my supervisor. Yes, some radical I am. More, why the fuck do I have to fix some higher paid asswipe's problem? I took a crap break and then lunch. Poop on the company's dime. That's another thing Sally would say. My bunk is rather Spartan, but aren't they all? Nothing here to do but jerk to archive Tang and raise another 100 levels on some ding-dong VR. I'm never going to be a paid passenger. Once I had fun being a crewman, an astronaut. Then I started doing any drug that was available, and I became a cryonaut. Now I just wish I could get some honest-to-goodness sleep. The ship on which I live was robotic. AI developed half a century ago in a touchy-feely era. I was ordered to use my tip bonus and buy a week's vacation. The alternative? Well, I had seen techs just dumped in cryo for the duration of the voyage. One sarcastic guy. He spaced himself. Maybe it was an error. We had 6 months left to reach Saturn, and the return flop was even longer. Far less passengers, too. No one wanted to live anywhere on Earth. I think I just finished my vacation time. Good boy, do as I was told. I once had a dog. It was AI, but it responded the same way. Her batteries failed under warranty, but I found the reboot different. Another friend I saw put down. I bunked with Baltimore Jones. He had seniority and more patience to deal with passenger complaints. Where was he? If I'm on shift, he's usually off, in his rack and chatting to his babe. I hated to tell him that she was just bogus AI. I did a deep dive and found she was leftover catfish, some old code that still haunts for prey. He's in love. Why should I burst his colostomy bag? I decided instead I would adopt a fierce avatar. Would not let the boss see me worried or a wild man. I sent him a text, and no reply. I felt ashen and didn't want to have any FaceTime, but I didn't want to be asked again if I had OD'd. I opened Baltimore Jones's locker, maybe steal some of his shit. He had some very expensive face creams. It's empty. What did he muster out? How could he have? Did he get promoted? Get a full stateroom? Employee of the month again, probably. There's only 10 of us, but maybe he just bought himself a day in first class. I always wanted to do that. But why would he take all his gear? Maybe he doesn't trust me. Why should he? I steal his snacks. Do I dare go upper deck, see what's going on? I decided instead to see my supervisor. Now the strange part is, my soul doesn't recall any of this being here. Normally this type of rig is on a capital ship, one that threatens colony worlds to pay back taxes. We were just a liner moving from Earth to Saturn. Most of the passengers would be in sleep mode, living out dreams they paid great cash to have programmed. Each would be woke several times in transit to prevent atrophy. There would be enough horny, warm bodies to keep anyone happy, though most of the action would be passenger on passenger. All I'd have was hacked video replays. I needed to check the duty roster, find my shift times. My boss, Pizza Keck, was scalded in a pipe burst. Before that, I don't think his skin could pimple. Too many plastic surgeries before and after. I would always lie and tell him he looked great. Full of vim, I'd say. I think that's good. Read it somewhere in chat. This section was once the best hunter-killer artillery and arrow snubs available. All automated drones, but the corporations running everything decided Pax, not Bellum, was better business. Pretty much the robots here are worthless and prone to self-destruct when tampered. They're just cargo weight everyone is afraid to jettison. Yet my soup keeps an office down here. He's ex-military and knows the captain and liner owners will not dare come down here. Hell, I don't even know if it's safe. Pizza Face seems out of the office. I sent a text, no reply. I tried FaceTime. No one answered. The mailbox was filled. No shit, Sherlock. I already knew the email system was broken. Now the IM and video chat. Maintenance gets the worst tech. I bet hospitality has the new codpiece iPhone 69. I have to overcome an obstacle here. And a 2 and a 4. Now a 4 is scary. I add 1 because I am destined, and it becomes a high wire, and I can pass an obstacle, again in critical insight. If I need to make any more rolls this scene though, if it happens again, I'll roll a 3. I hacked my boss's to-do list and found where Pizza Keck was. I've done this so many times, it was easy. Funny thing, he showed blank. His queue of action items was an overflow. All the space he allotted in the cloud was used up. The ship must have been hacked. No wonder I overslept. I'll blame my alarm clock on this. I spent the next few hours trying to put things back to normal, but the whole system seems like it's overwhelming. We may have to restore from scratch. If we do that, we'd have to do it in stages. And I'm not telling the passengers they need to don breathing gear. I grabbed a mask and tank just in case. Pizza Man and B. Jones were probably there now. I better join them in the core server matrix. The coolant was spilt and was leaking all over the place. Where was the damn maintenance bots? I only fix the glitches, not write the emergency codes. The smell was horrific from a vast pool of ammonia and ammonia ice. The robots sometimes go here for holiday. No one knows what RDR stands for. There is no definitive reference in any of the data files. Where's my boss? Overcome an obstacle to flush and allow some safe passage. Now you can imagine all this is happening in cyberspace or that I'm physically there. The game does mention defeat hoodies, and of course those would just be the dark, unknown figures that you either find inside the web or outside the web in the game as agents. Back to my character here, trying to come another obstacle. 2 dice. I purposely made this mission easy on me just to go through the mechanics. A 2 and a 1. Now a 2 and a 1 becomes a 3. Happens again, treat as a 1. Roll, I recover after action. Lose my destined status until someone performs a critical roll. That's going to hurt me. Now the critical rolls down here on Do Something Anything, I can get them, but I'm only rolling a single die down on the table. Do I want to try to make the critical deed in order to get my destined back, or do I just want to finish this obstacle? I'm going to try to finish this obstacle. 2 dice. 6 and 6. Easily did it. Should have maybe even rolled that for my Sis Boom Ba. Do I want to try to get my critical deed and get my destined status back? Not yet. Let's find out what's going on. Should I take the initiative and just restart the code? Everyone would blame me. People in showers losing artificial gravity might be injured. Stub a toe. Could cause a racquetball game to end in a tie. Everyone would blame a power flux on me. But in some ways, that actually is me. I was the one who was in charge of the power. Oh shit, I need approval here. Fug. Gosh, I gotta go off to the big boss. They were all most likely there anyway. Not my fault. I bet they'll blame me though. Gosh, I can't afford to lose this job. Crap, this day. It's my birthday all over again. I better put on a corporate face before I meet anyone. I straighten my uniform. I put my best avatar forward. Normally this place is off limits. They don't want anyone like me up here. They don't want me up here in cyberspace. They don't want me up here in reality. I would really need special clearance to enter the area. There was no true bridge on the ship. The whole was automated, and the last thing anyone would want is for a pilot to try to go into manual steering. The coop was more of a boardroom, lots of planning charts on whiteboards. Why not electronic? These were just old school folks in marketing. They felt the ideas were too easy to steal in cyber formats. They could be right. Door, of course, was locked. Big meeting taking place. I debated waiting outside, but I was anxious. What was happening? I just decided to hack the door and get in. All right. Another roll. Obstacle. I'm not destined. Do I want to try to roll one die and get destined back? Some bad crap could happen to me. All right, one die roll, looking for a critical deed. And it's a 3. My ear's bleeding. Happens again, a roll of 1. Defeat a hoodie. All lose their destined status until someone performs a critical deed. Now, I can double that up or just call it the same critical deed. I'll just call it the same critical deed because I want to get back to my story, obviously. But I will defeat a hoodie. I'm going to say it's like a security robot came to fight me. Now, I can't use fixated. Once I've used the crank rolls, I cannot go back and start using fixated. Even if I was a cyber junkie and my best rolls were fixated, once I start taking the narcotics and the stimulants, once I start into true cyberpunk faction of altering my mind, I can't go backward. And there's a point here where I could lose my euphoria as well. But while I'm still in euphoria, I can defeat a hoodie on a 6. But I really need that critical deed here now to get my destined status back. Let me roll a d6 again. Happens again, 3. It's a result 1. And I rolled a big fat 1. Vicious wound. Any more you die. Recover after the adventure. Lose my destined status. Now I'm in double danger. Okay. That heal. I don't heal that. That heal is... that is injury. And injury don't come back. Cyberpunk is true to the course. You get shot, you go down. Here, this robot is trying to tear a limb off of me. Now I got to get still. Defeat a hoodie and get my critical deed back to get my destined status. I'm going to roll one more die here. Maybe we should get rid of the hoodie first. Not going to matter. 1 die. And did I just roll back-to-back 1s? Wow, that is it. That is it, folks. It is over. We have lost the game with double 1s. You might never know what actually happened. Or I might play this on anyway, just to tease you in a part 2. More later.